Avowed. Oh boy. I know I'm going to upset some people with this video. It's going to be people on the far side of one perspective that's going to say, Addict, you should have been harder on this subject. And there's going to be ones on the other side that feel like, Addict, you weren't, you was too much. Why do you care about this? I care because I want the game to succeed. What am I talking about? I'm talking about Avowed, man. Avowed has had a good, like, week and a half of publicity. Almost everyone I know in this industry was saying this game looks good and they expect great things from it. And then you got this this art director, this Matt Heinstein dude. He came out and he says some statements that it's just like ridiculous. Like, and the fact that it's like, dude, you making a game. But let's jump over here. Let's see what this individual said. So keep in mind, this dude is the art director for Xbox, not for Obsidian that are owned by Xbox. And now, for those of you that don't know, there's like pretty much a giant war going on between Grums. It's a Twitter user and like everyone. I don't like the dude. I have spoke out against him on multiple occasions. I think most of his takes, for the most part, were, you know, they were hot takes, but they weren't harmful. But I do feel like he's escalated a little bit. But anyway, when you're going on to this, Grum's pretty much said because there's pronouns in Avowed, he's drawing the line there. Now, we could talk about that real quick. I, for one, don't have issues with pronouns in a game. I feel like, especially in an RPG, which is what we're playing, which is what Avowed is, if you want to give people the option to play as someone with pronouns, let them. To me, it doesn't matter to me. You know, I do think Dragon Age, Belgard pushed it a little too far, where it was like, not only is there pronouns in the game, we're going to push the ideology of pronouns on the consumer to sometimes a drastic level. That's where I disagree. You know, especially in an RPG, there needs to be dialogue to go against it, to go for it, to be neutral, because that's normally how dialogue in RPGs work. It didn't really feel like that was the case for Dragon Age. But when it comes to Avowed, I didn't see it. Now, I will say, I do want to come at Microsoft and Xbox a little bit. I don't know the reasoning that we weren't allowed to show you guys the character creation. That's definitely one of the reasons that it would have been there. Now, I have to get my hands on like the actual game to see if that character creation tab has changed in any way, shape, or form before I can tell you that was like specifically the reason. Because there could be some mechanical reasons that wasn't allowed in the actual, the coverage either. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and assume I'm in these rooms with Microsoft and Xbox. If that was the reason that they didn't want people to see that there was pronouns in the game, to me, in my opinion, you knew people were going to find out anyway. Just because everyone has signed NDAs does not mean that they're going to abide by them. There's going to be bad characters that show it regardless. So to me, it's like when you put conditions on content creators and media where you can't show it, it looks like in bad faith, because then you have people on the other side that's like, why are you trying to hide those pronouns in the game? To me, let the consumer decide if they want to support something with pronouns in the game. To me, I'm playing it. I loved what I saw on Avowed. I want to play this game and decide for myself. But, on back to this. So that's pretty much happened with the Grums thing. So essentially Grums, he put, I'm drawing a line and I'm rejecting any game that has pronouns in it. And you, Grammy, know what I mean. Stop being stupid. So obviously that's going to upset a lot of people. For instance, myself, like I said, I don't care if it has got pronouns in the game. I really don't. It doesn't really bother me. I'm going to keep playing the game how I normally play. To be honest with you guys, I don't really care about the character creation tab in almost in any of these RPGs. Most of the time I go with random. You could see me on a variety of streams just clicking random a couple times and going with that. So maybe I'm not the best person to talk to about stuff like that because it's nowhere near on the top of my importance list. So then Elon Musk quote tweeted it and said, having pronouns in a fantasy video game is utterly unacceptable. And then, Matt he screenshotted it. I think he put this on Blue Skies. And he said, Sicko's RPG, I wanted so badly to make him mad with my game. And I cannot believe it actually happened. Just wait until you see the default. You said little shit. Now, first off, Matt, you are a developer on a game that's coming out. You are the director of a game that's coming out. You are a spokesman for the game because you're doing public interviews. You're on, IGN. You're in trailers. Why are you putting any bad light on your game? People are going to make a big deal out of this because it's got pronouns regardless, because they did that with Starfield. But what you have done here, and we're going to get into a little bit more because this isn't all, but what you have done here is make this situation way worse off of just people complaining to people seeing that there's hate going on. So let's pop over here. Now, this is essentially what happened is after that. Now let's pull back. This is my perception, because like I said, I was keeping up with this. I didn't want to make any videos until I got all the information, and I wanted to give Microsoft and Xbox enough opportunity to respond. So it's been about 3 days. I don't know if they're going to respond or not. It's only been 3 days, but it's the day after Thanksgiving. So I was like, let me just go ahead and talk about it, because a lot of people were DMing me asking me why I haven't talked about it. I don't move away from these things, especially sensitive, highly emotional topics like this. I want to give enough time for information to come out. Sometimes it's good to be first when it's information that it doesn't necessarily need to be vetted. Rumors, insider stuff. But when it comes to stuff like this, man, it means a lot to a lot of people. Might not mean nothing to me, but it means a lot to a lot of people. So let's pop back over here. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at this particular tweet. This individual, this was taken, I'm pretty sure this was on Twitter. I don't know. Because the problem with Blue Skies and Twitter is they look almost identical. I don't know why, but they look almost identical. Reminder to black activists out there who are looking for portfolio reviews or job advice, my DMs are open, and you will always have my priority. We got too many crusty white dudes in this field. Please let me help you replace me one day. I want to go back to living in the woods. What? My biggest issue with this is like, you're deliberately trying to upset people at this point. Like, you're deliberately trying to upset people, and what that's going to do is it's going to get people like Grums in a hall. It's going to upset, people that's not Grums, and all you're doing is putting your game in such a bad light. That's all you're doing. Well, unfortunately, what ended up happening with this particular tweet is it went viral. Elon Musk retweeted it, quote tweeted it, and he actually tweeted, Satya, the CEO of Microsoft, asking pretty much, yo, is this your man's? Then it escalated past that because now it's no longer an Obsidian issue. It's no longer an Xbox issue. It's now a Microsoft issue. Look, Matt, you got to relax, like because it's getting to the point. It's like, dude, I am against hate in general. Now, do I think this dude generally hates white people? No, I don't think that. But I do think, he feels like he's doing something, and maybe it's like a political thing. Some of these people are extreme liberals, or I don't know which. I think a conservative is a Republican and a liberal is a Democrat. I never keep up with this stuff. Put it in the comment section. But maybe it's a political thing where I just don't understand how you get this much hate for anything. I don't hate anything this much. I don't be following these people. It's like the same vein that people will follow you on YouTube, watch every video you have just to dislike it and to talk shit in the comment section. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. If you don't like something, just act like it doesn't exist. So it doesn't end there. It doesn't end there. It gets worse. So Chris Avalion, I probably butchered his name. He's essentially a former Obsidian co-founder and lead dev on games like KOTOR 2 and Fallout New Vegas. He pops out with this. He said, do you think the art director's statements indicate a larger negative culture at the studio? And Chris says, was it liked or shared or quote tweeted by anyone at the studio, especially an executive or another director? So now you look over here and you see here, it was shared by Josh Sawyer. He's like one of the big people at Obsidian. So that looks just crazy there, that Josh Sawyer quote tweeted that hateful comment. Is it like the craziest thing you could call someone? No. But to me, we are at war on hate in general, and it needs to get squashed at every side known to man. We shouldn't be accepting this from content creators, from directors, from people in the industry, from media. Like, the whole industry should come together and say, this isn't the gaming industry that we want it to be. And that's my point when it comes to stuff like that. So, you know, when you pop over here, he says, is it sad Pillars 1 and 2 are classes? Avowed looks like shovelware. I don't agree with that. I feel like this person is just, you know, picking up on the movement. I think Avowed looks good. From what I played of it, from what I've seen of it, it looks good. Even the director of Pillars 1 and 2 won't work on Avowed, apparently. I guess. I think in the director of 1 and 2, Josh Sawyer? I don't know. I don't know who directed Pillars 1 and 2. Based on recent news, and this is when stuff gets serious. Because now we went from just a small little thing to potentially lawsuits. And Chris, there must have been some really bad blood with Chris and Obsidian, because he jumped out the window the moment he could. He said, based on recent news, if you were rejected from an art position at Obsidian in the past few years, call a lawyer. Discrimination in hiring, especially for a Microsoft studio, can assure you don't need to apply for a job ever again. Look, guys, it's like I said, I'm against hate in general. It's like I have been very open on speaking on a variety of topics in this industry. I have defended multiple people being hated on, being discriminated on. My hands are rated E for everyone. Okay, if you're coming in this industry with some hateful ass shit, I'm gonna be there to knock your ass out. Well, obviously digitally. It's sad, man, because Avowed looking really good. And look, do I think this is gonna hurt Avowed in the long grand scheme of things? I don't know. You know, I do think that, you know, Grums and his little posse, whatever you want to call them, I do think they got some buying power. You know, he gets to a lot of people, especially Elon Musk quote tweeting this dude. I couldn't imagine what he grew overnight in followers on Twitter. But it's just like, we got to be better in general, be better as a group. And, you know, when it comes to Microsoft, and particularly with their gaming studios, you know, we just got through talking not even a week ago about the Compulsion community manager pretty much telling people that they're mayo. Like, I've never even heard of that, calling white people mayo. It's just like, there's no need to act like this in this industry. Like, we should all want the whole industry to be better. And it's just like, it feels like, you know, you got people upset. You got people, you know, if you're upset more about the pronouns and the person using hateful speech in any way, shape, or form, I'm going to be real with you guys. You guys need help. Look, I understand. I get it. A lot of people are tired of, you know, the way things have been handled. But it's just like, look, like, you're not the only person in the world. There's actual people that use those pronouns. And even though if you don't agree with them or disagree with them, it's an RPG. Just let people have them. Why does it matter? You don't got to pick it, my dude. It's optional. And that's the part that just irritates me, because it's like, even though I myself don't use pronouns, I have zero issues with people using pronouns. I have never went to a profile picture and saw someone use pronouns that look down on them because I don't care. I care more about your character and your personality, and the character to the dude over there that is the lead, the dude over there that is lead of the director of art. You got to do better. Now, I don't know if you're going to lose your job. I don't like calling for people's jobs to be lost. But, look, if you got offended by this, you have every right to be offended by this. And if Microsoft feels that, a good way to show, because it's like I said, we just got through with the community manager compulsion. I don't know what the correct response is. I don't know what the correct consequence is. But at the end of the day, like, if this dude doesn't lose his job, he probably won't be in trailers ever again or being interviewed ever again, because like you can't act like that publicly and expect to be in the public. It's sad, man. I hope Avowed doesn't get hit too much for this. I've always been the kind of person, I'm not boycotting Avowed. I look down on this person's individual stance, which maybe you could throw Josh in there because he retweeted it, but I'm not going to essentially join a boycott off the actions of maybe two people. Now, obviously, you can make the stance, well, if Josh Sawyer said this and the director of art said this, the whole studio might be that way. And that might be it. But we don't know that. Connie has clearly showed us a good game. I feel like this game is going to do well. And I have never seen her, the lead dev for Avowed, I'm pretty sure her name's Connie. I've never seen her, or Carrie, it might be Carrie. I've never seen her attack anyone. So why should I boycott the game off the actions of this dude? This dude needs to clearly have some form of consequence. I don't know what Microsoft is deemed worthy. I don't know if they're ever going to even talk about it. But at the same time, it's like, we as a society can do better. We shouldn't be accepting hate from anyone to anyone. But anyway, hit the like button if you guys enjoyed this video, man. I don't like making these kind of videos. I'm going to be real with you. I don't. Have I been toxic in the past? Yes. Have I apologized? Yes. I've made my fair share of mistakes as well. No one's perfect. But, I apologize for them. I understood. I was tripping, man. Emotional. Emotions will kill us all. They will, man. They have us all acting out of pocket. But I appreciate everyone coming through. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit the like button if you guys appreciated the video. You can always sub to the channel for weekly content. Even though we're probably going to drop down to 3 videos a week for the rest of the year because we about to hit December. But I will be streaming on the Addict Arena channel. All that's in the description below. And until next time, this is Gaming Addict. I'm out of here. Peace. Man, I hope things calm down. I really hope this doesn't hurt Avowed a whole lot.